It's deposition day again, this time for former President Clinton. Yesterday was Hillary Clinton's deposition day. So, you know, let's see what happens. Um, I'm going to do what I do first. Let me pull up my live so I can see the live stream here to see who's joining us. Let me adjust my microphone, and we are good to go. Good morning, Lacey. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Oh, hang on, I have I've got to close my email up. Laurel and Vandy, how are you guys? Thank you for joining us this morning. I hope everybody is. Let me get my obligatory tissue, which allows me to do the things I do and not have a runny nose. Well, doesn't stop me from having a runny nose, but allows me to deal with the runny nose. So let's just get right into it, my friends. So today I have two things that I want to cover. Hey, Gamer Vet Dad. Thing number one is obviously former President Clinton is testifying this morning. I assume he's testifying now. I want to kind of listen. I haven't had a chance to listen to House Oversight Committee Democrats to their opening statement yet. Actually, I think they may even have an update that I missed. Hey, Sharon, how are you? The other thing I want to talk about is I saw some reporting from Aaron Parnas today, and I went and looked it up. You have some GOP senators. We're going to get into it after we see what's going on with Clinton. We have you're doing as well as possible. That's good to hear, Laurel. That's good. At least you're doing as well as possible, and I am doing extraordinarily well on this fine day. Thank you for that. So anyway, we've got these. We have GOP senators who are calling for the full release of all the Epstein files. The two of whom I think are important are Senator Chuck Grassley and Senator Kennedy. And we'll get into that. I'll share with you my Chuck Grassley and Kennedy impressions. They're not great, America. But let's just, before we get to that, let's listen to what House Democrats, just a little bit of what House Democrats talked about this morning as they, talked about the deposition, Clinton's deposition, and let's see if they had an update, because I think they may have. So let's take a listen.
Thank you all for being here today. I'm Robert Garcia. I'm the ranking member, leader of the Oversight Committee for Democrats, and we're going to make some brief comments. Everyone's got a few brief remarks, and then we're going to start the deposition. I want to just begin by just saying that what we're interested in today is a serious deposition. We have real questions that deserve serious answers from former President Clinton, and we have said from day one that Democrats want to talk to anyone, whether they are a Republican or a Democrat, no matter how powerful they are, whatever position that they've been in. If anyone has information about Jeffrey Epstein, and certainly the horror that he inflicted on so many women and children, we want to hear from them. What we do not want today is a sideshow and questions about UFOs or about conspiracy theories from decades ago, which is what unfortunately happened yesterday when a series of bizarre questions were asked of Secretary Clinton. And Secretary Clinton was clear. She never met Jeffrey Epstein. She never went on the island. She was never on the plane. And she had no knowledge, of course, of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. I want to also add that there are a lot of questions today, whether they're about Epstein's finances, about survivors, about foreign intelligence, that we look forward to asking in a way that's serious and dignified, and we hope Republicans do the same. I also want to add one other thing which I think is really important. Republicans have now set a new precedent, which is to bring in presidents and former presidents to testify. So we're once again going to make that call that we did yesterday. We are now asking and demanding that President Trump officially come in and testify in front of the Oversight Committee. He appears in the Epstein files next to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell almost more than anybody else. So it's time for the president to answer questions about why files are missing from the DOJ, why there's been a White House cover-up, and why we continue in that administration to call this investigation a hoax. And finally, I'll review the call that we made yesterday that we are demanding, again, that the press and the public be allowed inside the depositions so that you can hear the answers and the questions directly. And if that's not going to happen, they need to release a full, unedited review of the questions and video within 24 hours of the end of these depositions. That means that the Secretary Clinton deposition needs to be released immediately today. And with that, I'll pass it along to Mr. Clinton.
Thank you so much. Today we're here to conduct a serious investigation, and it is obvious that our Republican colleagues, at least yesterday, were not here to do the same thing. We've said it many times and we'll continue to say it again. We will hear from anyone. We don't care who you are. We just want the truth. All of us have met with the survivors. All of us looked them in the eyes and promised them that we would see this thing through the end and do it in a serious way. Asking questions about UAPs, UFOs, as interested as I am in the subject too, it has nothing to do with this investigation. Don't waste our time. Don't waste the time of survivors who have been waiting and waiting for justice. Now finally the government is paying attention. Members of Congress are paying attention. Stay focused on the matter at hand. We're also calling out the hypocrisy of our Republican colleagues. Yes, we're here to talk with President Clinton today. We'll talk with anyone. But how come people like Howard Lutnick, see, it seems like they don't want to talk with him. They don't want to talk with the president. They don't want to call in Pam Bondi, who has done everything that she can do to cover up and to slow down our investigation. A law passed by Congress damn near unanimously that she's done everything she can to slow down the release of the files, and even when they're released, and they said members of Congress would be able to go to the Department of Justice to view them unredacted. I know all of us, if not most of us, have gone in there and seen files that are still redacted and not given a proper explanation as to why we can't view them. We know the Department of Justice has deleted things having to do with Donald Trump, has deleted things having to do with Howard Lutnick and people connected to the administration. We know that Pam Bondi has been spying on members of Congress as we've been trying to conduct our legitimate oversight responsibilities. So we're here to see this through. We're here because we know that this is about justice for the survivors, but justice also means that this never happens again. That's why this investigation is so important. We don't want this failure of government, this failure of elite billionaires getting away with a different system of justice. We don't want this to happen again. And that's why we're here today. We are serious about this. And my hope is that my Republican colleagues who say they're serious about it, back it up with action. Not just with the questions you ask here today, but what you do from here on out. It's not about party. It's about this nation. It's about protecting our most vulnerable people. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm James Walkinshaw from Virginia's 11th District. I am glad that President Clinton is going to sit down today with us and answer questions under oath. Anybody who had a significant relationship with Jeffrey Epstein should explain what, if anything, and when they knew about the crimes that were being committed. President Clinton's sworn statement said that he had no knowledge of the crimes that were committed, and I know that we're committed to asking tough questions about that today. But President Clinton's presence here today, under oath, highlights the Donald Trump-sized gaping hole in Chairman Comer's investigation. President Trump is mentioned tens of thousands of times in the files. We learned in recent days that files related to an accusation made against President Trump have been removed, not released to the public in the files. And this investigation will not be complete until we bring President Trump in to answer questions under oath. I'm hopeful that Chairman Comer will have the courage to move us in that direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I'm learning that I have to mute my phone so that I don't mute my microphone so that I don't get feedback from my speaker when the recording of this video goes up and everything sounds weird. But I forget to unmute. And I will solve that problem soon. Thank you. Thank you, Jordan and Tina, for letting me know, and Kat. I will solve that problem soon with a simple solution, which originally, my friends, was, I can't get it here, was originally these headphones, which two problems were. One is they only work half the time. They're cheap ass headphones. And two, I don't like the way they look. I don't like it. It just doesn't work for me. So I'm going to be ordering today some earbuds that will allow me to solve that problem, and I won't have to mute my microphone and talk to you guys and not be heard. So I'm going to work on that, guys. But thank you, guys, for letting me know that I was muted, because I would have sat here and talked incessantly with nobody hearing me. I think there's much more to listen to. Obviously, we have a few more members of Congress who are going to speak, but I imagine they're going to be saying their version of the same thing, which is perfectly reasonable. What the congressman was just talking about there, if you're new to the community, if you're not following the news, or if you may have missed us talking about it in a live, or missed it when we were, in one of my posts on other socials, there is an accusation. There are documents in the Epstein files that prove that there was a credible accusation from back in the 80s from a woman who was a child back then. She was around 13 years old, and she said that Trump at the time sexually assaulted her. I won't go into the details of the egregious sexual assault that he engaged in. She came forth in 2019. There was the original file that we saw that from was from an FBI tip line where there were lots of accusations against Donald Trump. This particular one, internet sleuths and citizen journalists digging through it were able to discover in the Epstein files that the FBI took this so seriously that they interviewed the woman 4 times. And then we don't know what happened after that, because there is no more documentation about that. And there also is only one document referring to one interview. Both the internet sleuths and then subsequently NPR, yesterday or the day before, they're doing their own investigative journalism. NPR was able to determine that looking at metadata on the documents and timestamps and serial numbers, that there were about 50, at least 53 missing documents associated with that particular issue that certainly reference the other 4 instances where the FBI interviewed that victim. So that's what the congressman was talking about. And the Republicans are so desperate and dumb that on this committee that they wanted to try to bring Hillary and Bill in to try to humiliate them and catch them in anything they could think of. And they want Bill to be the guy that is the Epstein partner in crime. And we'll find out when we find out what Bill Clinton did or didn't testify to. But they're so dumb by bringing those 2 in. What they did is what Congressman Garcia had said in the beginning. They set a precedent. And that precedent is that just because you're a president or you're a former president, it doesn't mean you have executive privilege. You need to get the fuck in there and answer the questions if you're somehow associated in the Epstein file. And there was a handful and a half of pictures of Bill Clinton that he damn well needs to fucking answer for. But there are 38,000 to 1 million mentions of the village idiot Donald Trump in the Epstein files. And now the precedent has been set by the Republicans that the idiot's got to go in. And it's very hard. They're so bad at this that the Republicans have a very, very difficult time squirming out of this. I just want to see if there's another update, because we have Garcia's. I'm just looking at C-SPAN right now. We have Garcia's and his team's comments. We have the comments earlier this morning from Republicans on the Oversight Committee. I could really give a fuck what they have to say, to be perfectly frank. So let's see let's see what's our next time. So 10:32, that was when the Oversight Committee spoke about an hour ago. 10:42. So yeah, it looks like we don't know when we're going to get that next update. Let's just do a quick news check, because you usually have all the major news outlets will usually have a political ticker. San Francisco, I don't see it. Usually Politico has a ticker of what's going on. Let's check NBC News just to see what's happening with Bill Clinton. No, it doesn't look like we have any updates to discuss with that. So what do we have? What are you guys mentioning here? And Hillary never pleaded the fifth, so that it would look bad if the village idiot testified, and we know that's all he would say. I agree, Patty Ann. I don't expect Clinton to plead the fifth. I think Clinton is going to come out. I just think they're too smart for that. I think Clinton is going to come out forcefully. I think he's going to come out aggressively. If he sexually abused any of these young girls, I don't think he's going to be able to dance around it, no matter how prepared he is. I think more so than House Republicans, I think House Democrats, oversight Democrats, will nail him to the fucking wall. If they sniff out that he's being evasive in any capacity, and if they think that he is covering up, I think they'll nail his ass to the wall. If Clinton did not sexually abuse any young girls, which is my hope, then I think he'll come out of this hearing having done fairly well. I don't expect him to plead the fifth. It would be political suicide for him. Not that it matters. I mean, he's not politically he's not politically active anymore in terms of running for election, but it would give the House Oversight Republicans and the village idiot a lot of fodder to work with. So I can't imagine it. But what do I know? Who the fuck knows what's going to happen? Now, this is some interesting stuff I want to share with you guys. I first heard about this this morning as I was just kind of getting ready to getting prepped for the live, and just sort of getting my day started and thinking about what I might be interested in covering today. Aaron Parnas, I had seen he had done I think it was a Substack post. And he was sharing some breaking AI news, but also some breaking political news. And the political news had to do with GOP senators who are calling on the village idiot, specifically calling on Pam Bondi. They're afraid to call on the village idiot, but are calling on Pam Bondi to release the rest of the Epstein files. And the two names that really struck me were Senator Kennedy, and even more so, because Kennedy's kind of been here before, but Senator Grassley, right? And that's Grassley surprises me. Grassley is a problem, right? Now, Kennedy, to his credit, has, said directly to Pam Bondi. I don't remember. It was a couple of months ago, if I remember correctly, when she was testifying before a Senate committee, or maybe it was, I think it was Kash Patel. I don't remember if it was Bondi or I think it was Patel. And Kennedy said something along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing him here, I don't see any way out of this other than releasing them files. I think you got to do that because it's going to catch up with you sooner or later. He said something along those lines, right? And I don't think you can outrun this story forever. I think you better. I expect they're going to come out sooner or later, so you better release them. So I wasn't so surprised by that. But Grassley, even though he's 175 years old, he's like in his 90s, right? And even though he is really kind of a senator in name only in terms of his influence because of, unfortunately for him, his age and what appears to be his cluelessness, he consistently goes along with anything the Republicans tell him and anything Trump wants. And he's kind of like Grassley he's an old guy and he's an old school conservative, right? So it's always been troubling to me. It's always been troubling to me to see Grassley almost like unintentionally devolve into a MAGA weirdo. Because he's not. He's just not all there anymore. And so when he spews a talking point, I hate it. I hate to see it. So if he's now, and I'm going to read some of the reporting because I don't want to put words in his mouth because I don't know exactly what he said. But if he's now on board with you've got to release the files, you've got the most senior Republican member of the Senate is calling for that, right? And that matters, guys. Let's read the reporting. Republican senators who are putting pressure on Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Justice Department to release all files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein that mention President Trump's name, warning the issue won't go away until there is full transparency. GOP senators are urging the Justice Department to fully comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act in the wake of media reports the department hasn't released records detailing claims a woman made in 2019 against both Epstein and Trump that related to an incident from the 1980s. Republicans are on the defensive, said as Democratic leader Chuck Schumer is vowing Democrats will use every tactic in their disposal to force the release of the missing records. Republican senators and the Justice Department. Republican senators want the Justice Department to get ahead of the issue by releasing any records mentioning Trump that officials have withheld due to their sensitive, unverified nature. Now, I don't know, there's still a certain amount of chicken shittedness because, if the DOJ releases anything, it's going to be a very careful release. They're probably reviewing the documents, redacting them now, trying to figure out which of them they can release, which of them they can still hide, and how they can cover up the hidden documents that that they don't release. So there's a certain amount of bullshit in the Republican senators should be calling out everything, but we'll see. Releasing the documents, release the names of the victims, don't release photographs, naked or otherwise, of minors, release the documents. This is not going to go away until there is full disclosure, said Senator John Kennedy, representative of Louisiana, member of the Judiciary Committee. Asked about whether the administration should hold back unverified allegations a woman made against Trump in several interviews with the FBI, Kennedy replied, I don't know, and I don't know how else to say it. Release the documents. I'm kind of losing him right now. I'm like trying to channel him, but he's kind of coming and going. While he said the Justice Department should use some discretion in good faith, he advised officials should strive for maximum transparency. This is not going to go away until there's full disclosure, and the American people want to know, and they're entitled to know who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these women too, and why were they prosecuted? Weren't. Asked about reports. Now, I didn't mention Susan Collins. I did hear in Aaron Parnas's report today, he mentioned her. I'm not mentioning Susan Collins because I don't give a shit because I think she's useless, but asked about reports that the Justice Department has withheld files mentioning Trump. Senator Collins said that would seem to be in conflict with what Congress intended when it overwhelmingly passed the Epstein Transparency Act. I don't know exactly what the circumstances are and whether there's legitimate reasons for redactions or withholding since he's currently in office, but that would seem to be contrary to the intent of the law. How am I going to do her? I mean, that's the best I could do with that. Asked about missing files, in Trump's name, Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley said the law passed by Congress was clear. The law I can't find my, hang on, I got to find my Grassley. The law passed by Congress last year was clear. The Justice Department should release all documents. Let me see if I can find my Grassley. I can usually find him. No law. I don't know if I can find him. I think when we... he's not there. He's not there. He's not coming up, guys. I think when we pass a law... I have to hear him. I can't hear him right now. I think when we pass a law that says... No. I think when we pass a law that says all documents need to be put out, it seems to me that documents... No, I can't find him. It seems to me that documents need to be put out. I'll work on my Grassley impression if Grassley matters more. The senior senator from Iowa said he hasn't made a decision on whether he would hold a hearing. I haven't made a decision. No, I can't find it yet. On whether he would hold a hearing on the Justice Department's compliance with the law. Hey, guys, look, you know what, though? How many comedians, not that I'm a comedian, but how many comedians and impressionists will just workshop an impression live? I feel like not even as a comedian, I'm the only one that does that. They really perfect it before they bring it to the people. I, as an American patriot, thank you. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. Stop it. You're killing me. But as an American patriot, it's my duty to bring you my impressions, as bad as they are, live, uncensored, and ill-prepared. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald John James, Jesus Christ, jump, I'm fabulous. They all say it. Everybody's saying it. Mitch is saying it. He's saying it. Tina said it. I heard her say it, right? She said it just the other day. Tina called. She called. I said, Tina, you're a fantastic woman. And she said, she's doing a fabulous job. I said, thank you, Tina. You're fantastic. She's fantastic. Everybody, round of applause for Tina, please. Everybody, she's fantastic. I love Tina. She's fantastic. Just the other day, I said how fantastic she was. That's pretty fun. Laugh. I want cabinet. You need to laugh. I want Bondi. Bam. I'm making a joke. Laugh. I want you to keep laughing. That's enough of that. Yeah, go, Tina. Okay, it's enough nonsense, people. We have serious shit to cover. Thank you. If you guys notice, I'm wearing my dress shirt again. I'm back to that. It's because I had like an interview with a congresswoman, and I'm like, I gotta dress up. And then I almost had Chris Murphy. I hope he's coming back, but so I don't know. I'm doing this now. We'll see how long it lasts. Anyway. Senator Tom Tillis, who suddenly grew a set of balls now that he's resigning, a pseudo set of balls over the last several months since he said he was not going to run for re-election, made another member of the Judiciary panel said it would be, quote, concerning if the Justice Department held back Epstein files that mentioned Trump. If it is in fact true, it's concerning unless it fits the same filter as everyone else, end quote. He said, quote, I've heard the reporting, but I haven't nailed it down, end quote. He's still a little bit of a chicken shit, but, mini balls, right? Yes, Gail, mini balls. Baby steps, right? Just baby steps. The New York Times and other media outlets reported this week that Epstein-related documents released by the Justice Department did not include FBI memos summarizing interviews with a woman who claimed that she was sexually assaulted by the village idiot Donald Trump and Epstein in the 1980s when she was a minor. so forth and so on. I don't really need to go through the rest of the rest of the reporting. I just kind of wanted to read that part to you. So I think I think it's going to be interesting to see how the liars and the bullshit artist is a is a gratuitous word to use, on the House Oversight Committee, the Republicans and the fucking idiots in the White House, how they respond to this. It's it's going to be interesting. The files are coming out. It's gonna happen. It's it's gonna happen. The lid is gonna get blown off of this. This is the thing that has this and the economy are the things they're the albatrosses around the village idiot Donald Trump's neck. There are many, but these are the biggest. This is what has ended him politically. As Gamer Vet Dad consistently points out to us in his never-ending and deep data-driven analysis of the trigger points that will really box Trump in, maybe not get rid of him unless Democrats win the House and the Senate and can impeach and remove. That I think it's possible, but I seem to be the only one. But a boxed in president, a lame duck in his midway through his second year, or heading into his third year. Yeah. So we'll see what happens, but it's pretty heavy stuff. Anyway, guys, that's all I have today for the live. I have a hey Ann, how are you? I wanted to cover Clinton and I wanted to cover this. I'm trying to what's the word that I'm looking for? Consolidate the lives a little bit. I'm trying to shorten them up a little bit and make them a little bit tighter. I'm experimenting with a lot of things, if you guys have noticed. So I'm tempted to just stay here and keep babbling because I want to. But I'm going to force myself to stop. I want to tighten these things up. For those of you that are just joining us today and you haven't been here, whether you're joining us from YouTube or Instagram or Substack, I go live every day, Monday through Friday at 11:15 a.m. I'm starting to explore evening lives. We did one yesterday. They'll probably start to happen once or twice a week. In the evenings, we'll see how those go. If you are a subscriber here, if you're on Substack or you want to join us on Substack, we're at xenocracy.news. Please join us there. You can subscribe for free. If it's comfortable for you and it's of interest, please consider a paid subscription. That allows me to continue to do this work. And also, please follow me on my socials. If you're out there, I'm Mitch Ivan, MITCHEIVEN on Instagram. Same thing on Facebook. On TikTok, I'm Mitch Ivan 7. We're giving TikTok a shot again. We'll see what the hell happens with it. And also on YouTube, YouTube is Xenocracy with Mitch Ivan. So it's at Xenocracy, ZENOCRACY. So I think that's it for today, my friends. Yeah, I feel like I should have more, but I think I don't have more. Let's just do one. I can't really let it go. Let's just do one last quick check on to see if there's any updates on the Clinton testimony. Let's check the live ticker here. Democrats say GOP has set a new precedent with the deposition. We saw that. Hillary Clinton deferred a number of questions to Bill Clinton yesterday. Jim Comer says, so there was stuff they asked Hillary that Bill's going to handle. Diet Coke brought into the building for Clinton's deposition. Who gives a shit? Okay, so there's no new updates. Anyway, guys, keep an eye on the socials. Keep an eye on the notes here on Substack. Keep an eye on the post. I'll be posting throughout the day. Look for maybe a live tonight. I'll just let you guys know. I love you guys. 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time, one live at a time. Gamer Vet Dad. Hang on. Gamer Vet Dad had a comment. I just don't want to miss it. Keep an eye on the senators and see if they actually submit a letter That's an irreversible moment. We will keep an eye on the Gamer Vet Dad. Thank you. We're looking for a letter. I guess what you're saying is if there's a letter, it's the beginning of game over. So we'll keep an eye on that. I love you guys. Be well, and I'll see you later today, or certainly tomorrow. Take care, everyone.